Alright, what's up, guys? Welcome to another Storytime video. Then today's Storytime, I wanted to talk about when I very first got into sneakers. And yeah, man, I'm telling you, like, for those that don't know me, like, if I'm saying, like, if there was, like, a camera crew following me between the years of, like, maybe 2016, because I'm trying to think. I think I got into sneakers in, like, 2016, like, late. I feel like it was, like, late 2016. I think that's when I got into sneakers. And it was late 2016, and from that point all the way up until like the last pair of shoes I bought, yeah, there it probably would have been like 5-10 season. Like you guys definitely would have had like a lot more sneaker content than what I've posted on YouTube and stuff. Like I'm saying, like the journeys I've had to go on to go get shoes, the freaking, the disappointments of trying to get shoes, but you can't because bots bought them all up and stuff. Oh my god. Like the fact that I've woken up like 5-6 in the morning on a day when I didn't even need to, like on a weekend day, or actually no, I've only done this twice. There was one time, so it was when the Bread 11s was coming out. I woke up at like 5 in the morning, getting ready to go like all the way to like downtown Seattle in the cold to go get these shoes, just for them to be like, oh, you gotta have them you gotta be a Nike Plus member and you had to have them reserved. And I'm like, fam, I am up here with $220 plus tax. Give me my shoes. Like I was saying, it's stuff like that where I'm all like, bro, really? And so then I had to wait like a whole year later to go and get them at a reselling store. And I'm like, I could have saved myself some money and then just got the shoes, but I'm like, it's stuff like that where I'm like, nah, bro, I'm even gonna waste my time on that. But anyways, there's so much like just things that I've been like, I probably can like turn this into a series of videos where I'm just telling y'all sneaker stories and stuff because I got so many. But now let's start off talking on when I had very first got into them. So it was like late 2016. And I remember, so here's what I did. So I remember I started working in downtown Seattle. And this is like when I was like, really making some money and stuff. And so then versus like with YouTube at the time, I wasn't really making a whole lot. So when I started making a lot of money at this job in Seattle, I was like, fam, like I had like a lot of extra money left over and things. And so I was like, well, dang, I'm saying like bills are paid, all these other, I'm chilling. I'm like, hey, yo, let me go ahead and like, walk around and explore a little bit. So found myself out of all stores too, but because I would consider this like the Walmart of sneaker stores and stuff. But I found myself in Famous Footwear. Now, when I went in there, I didn't realize like this is like the cheaper shoe store. They don't have like the high end Jordans. They got like the freaking like the bare minimum of. They don't even have Jordans. They literally have Nike. The last time I went in there, all they had was Nike and Crocs, and I was like, and then they just had like a bunch of these other shoes where I was like, what are these shoes, bro? Like they got the area where of them, then there's like the other areas where it's like, what are these shoes and stuff. So anyways, but yeah, so I found myself in there, got these one shoes that kind of resembled some Jordans in a way. And so I remember I went to work, and it was the chef that was working there at the time. He was like talking about them and things. He was like, hey, those look like Jordans, are they? And I was just like, nah, man, some like random. And still to that at that point, I didn't even know like the names of Jordans. I didn't know like the history of them and all that stuff. So he was like giving me a whole spill on sneakers. I'm like, bro, my brain had just shut down because I was like, I have no idea what you're talking about, but I could tell you're interested. Now I'm like, and I'm trying to like act like I am, but I'm like, I have no idea what you're talking about, bro. I'm sorry. So anyway, so I had at that point was just like, all right, whatever. But then it was like I found myself like overall wanting to go back into like more sneaker stores and stuff. So I was like, because then there'll be at times where I'll get like a shirt and I'm like, fam, like there'd be a good pair of shoes that'll go with this, or just to like overall like just change it up a little bit and things. And I'm like, instead of just wearing the same shoe every single day, because that's what I was doing. Like high school me, middle school me, elementary me, I was wearing them shoes until I couldn't wear them no more, until the shoes pretty much just busted on me and stuff. Like I wish I can find like a pair of shoes I had like when I was in high school and stuff, because then you guys would have been like, oh dang, like you've been wearing them shoes for a long time. So versus now, I'm like, there's a pair of shoes I wore out to my uncle's birthday party. I've had those shoes for like a solid like 3-4 years. Still look clean. It's these Air Jordan 1 mids, and they still look clean. So I was like, fam, like I'll wear my shoes, but I just don't wear them like often as like I should and stuff. So, but anyways, moving on. So I had ended up going into Foot Locker and Champs, because at the time they had like Foot Locker and Champs. Like, so there's this mall that I go to where they have them like right across from each other and stuff. And yeah, I was just like, oh, you know, like I'm just gonna go in here and see what I can find. So I remember I did get these other Nike shoes, and they're just like some casual shoes, because for those that don't know, there's like casual, running, walking, basketball, like, you know, there's a wide variety, and I think they were considered casual Nike shoes. So I remember I was wearing those. And then I started getting into Adidas shoes. And so I was like, because I never owned a pair of Adidas before, so I was like, hey, you know what? Let me go and buy these pair of Adidas. So it was like the EQT Advance or something like that. It was these one Adidas shoes where it was kind of like, it had like a blackish like camo print on the like front part. And then they had like, they called it like hyper red, but it looked pink. And it was like some shoes that came out back in 2016. But anyways, ended up getting those. So was wearing those for the longest because they were mad comfortable and things, and so I was just rocking those everywhere I could possibly. I have like a pair of shoes that look like those ones, but they're not that colorway and stuff. But anyways, moving on. So I got those. They ended up becoming cool with the guy that worked there, so he was telling me everything I needed to know about sneakers, like telling me like oh, you know, Ultra Boost is like the best Adidas shoes, NMDs are the most fashionable, like telling me everything I need to know about Adidas. So he was like my sneaker guy. Like I always would go to him, and like if there was a pair of shoes that I saw, I'm like, hey, what's the deal with these shoes? Like what are those called? What's those shoes about? Do you guys have them in stock? No? Well, where can I find them? And so anyways, yeah, so he was my sneaker guy for the longest, but then he ended up moving to Oregon and stuff. There's actually a crazy story about that. It's like a full circle story about that. Way more like crazier than this like whole sneaker journey and stuff. But anyways, so he ended up moving, and at that point I was on my own. So I was like, dang, I gotta figure this stuff out on my own. And so I remember when I would go into that Champ store, because they didn't really, I always would go in there and be all like, hey, you guys have these, and just be some random Adidas shoes, and be like, hey, do you guys have these in the size 10? And the guy's just like, nah, man, it's like only, you know, size we have left. So I'm like, dang, bro, it's like you guys, like, there's no Adidas shoes and stuff. So then I was like, hey, you know what? Let me go ahead and see what these Nikes are all about. And so I remember I bought this. So it was these like paint splattered Air Jordan 1s that I saw. And so here's the thing about that. No, but actually, you know, let me talk on these paint splatter ones and stuff. So I ended up buying those, and then those was like my official like first pair of like actual legitimate, not like no low budget Jordan. Like no, those were my first, and I still have them, but those were my first pair of Air Jordan shoes ever. So, funny story about that. And I didn't realize that at the time, because I was like, I want the ones that stands out and stuff. I don't want no basic color and things, not realizing the basic color ones are actually the better ones. So, and it just makes me so mad that I'm like, I passed up on an opportunity. They most likely had the shoe in my size, but they were just sitting on it. They probably didn't. Like, I don't know. I shouldn't look at it as like they had them on my side and I could have gotten them, but they were sitting on the shelves for so long. So I was like, bro, I don't know. But anyways, so they had like the paint splattered ones, and then they had these like random like blue and black ones. Well, it turns out those random blue and black ones are actually, so yeah, those shoes I think were like the 2017 editions of the Royal Blues. So I'm pretty sure everybody knows like the high top, like OG high top Royal Blues that came out some time ago. Yeah, the black and white. Yeah, saw those, and then they had them like sitting right next to the paint splattered ones, and I was like, I didn't know which ones was better than the other. I just thought, okay, paint splattered ones, and they were like the mids. and stuff, the paint splattered ones. So I was like, they looked alike. I was like, I couldn't tell the difference and stuff. Just like the only difference is that one had like looked like somebody got like their hand in some paint and was just doing that to them, and then the other ones was just a basic blue and black. I was like, I don't want no basic shoe. I want these like standout shoes and stuff. And so yeah, and then it wasn't until like years later when I saw those, and I was like, I remember those shoes in the store, and I didn't realize like how, you know, big these shoes were and stuff. I could have got those shoes, and I'm like, and I didn't. I feel like I had so many opportunities because I had seen those shoes on the shelves in that store for weeks, and I didn't get them, and I was so mad. And I'm like, bro, why? So I'm like, man, still to this day it haunts me. But anyways, and then yeah, from there I was just going into Foot Locker and Champs, just constantly going, you know, seeing what shoes that they had. Got to the point where I was traveling to like different cities in Washington, getting shoes, waking up bright and early in the morning. Even in the pandemic, bro, I had to say I probably bought more shoes during the pandemic than I have like outside of, well, I take that back. Nah, because there was at times when I was getting like 2-3 pairs of shoes a week and stuff when I was working in Seattle. And so I had to say I have slowed down a lot since then, but yeah, it was, because it was like, no, the reason why I slowed down, because I was like, I don't know about ordering online. There was still a part of me that was like, I don't know, like I want to, but at the same time, I'm like, it's kind of sketchy, all right? So, but no, like I was just overall like doing that, getting into like so many different pairs of shoes and stuff, and now I feel like I know so much about shoes. Like people be coming to me for like shoes and stuff and like, hey, should I get these, which ones is comfortable? And I'm like a freaking sneaker genius, and versus like who I was back in like high school and middle school, you guys would ask me anything about shoes, even in elementary, pretty much like any year before 2016, if you guys would have asked me about shoes, I would have been like, I have no idea what that is. A bread 11, is that like some specialized breads? Cool gray 11s, what is that? Like, you know, freaking what else? Some red, or no, the cement 3s. I'm like, is it like some cement with a letter 3 on it? Like where are these shoes and stuff? So yeah, I learned a lot about shoes. But anyways, and that being said, stay tuned for some more Storytime videos. I will talk to you guys later. Thank you guys for watching. Like, subscribe if you're new to the channel, and peace.